But I am streaming to the Geek Grills channel.
I see us.
Okay, maybe it just hasn't come up yet. That's
It's
weird.
just a delay.
Sure. Okay, my levels are getting chancy though. Why are they jumping all over the place? I don't know why. It's like I had it all dialed in, but then now for some reason I'm getting some different readings off everybody now. I
Huh.
love how it's probably just because I hit the live button and it's like, oh, just kidding. So
Mm.
you thought you had everything going well, but in actuality, what you're actually getting is this. All right. Ember, give me another talk, please.
Another talk, please.
Good. All right, Linda.
Yep, still here.
Okay. Okay. I think all in all, I think that's overall that's a pretty solid mix. It looks like. I just need to see the channel. Oh, look, there it is. There's a freaking channel. There's a channel.
Yay.
All right, hold on. I gotta open up the damn chat again. Oh, I know I have it
Mm.
open, didn't I? Didn't I have it open? I did have it open. I have two of them open. No longer hosting. Hold on a second. Ah! Okay, let's just do this. Bye, all you stuff.
Mm-mm.
Um, there's that. And then why doesn't the chat pop-up actually give me a freaking... What's up, Grizz? We're trying to make sure that everything exists in reality. Okay, I'm good. We should be coming through. Everybody should be able to hear everything. Everybody should be able to see everything. And I think, in theory, that will be good to go. Cool.
Tweeted and retweeted and Facebook share.
Awesome. So all the sharing happened, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I didn't
Cool.
do the stuff you do.
Oh, in the Discord? Sure. Let me see if I can... I did close Discord, but I can do it real quick. I think it's worth it just to make sure we're pushing stuff all over the place. Cool. Oh, that's right. I didn't even have the chat window open because I can literally see it. It's just if I need to type into chat, I won't be able to. Okay. Let's see here. General. Episode 92 of Geek Grills.
Yay. Yay.
Grr. Arg. One thing always makes me think of the mutant enemy. God.
Typing. Holy typing. Better.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was just like, where is it coming from?
Dude, what's that? Weird pop-ups.
Hmm?
On the stream, it said this weird, like, free loot pop-up over the diamond
Mm.
for the first thing.
That's the twitch.tv, or that's the Twitch free loot stuff.
All right.
Okay, cool. Rock and roll. Linda, whenever you're ready.
Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Set.
Okay. I just realized I lost my stupid Twitch chat box, I think. Where'd it go? Where are you, Twitch chat box? How can you... What? There you are. See, I knew it was there somewhere. Being a butthead. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Yeah, we're gonna do episode 92. Yeah.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome to episode 92 of the Geek Grills, a podcast in which geeky women and sometimes guests gather to record topical conversation and offer it to the masses. The Geek Grills podcast is supported mainly by our patrons. You can find us at www.patreon.com/grills. I'm Linda, and I'm here with my co-host, September, also known as
Hello.
9 of 12,
Hello.
and the Jen.
Hi.
So I do apologize. My voice is a little weak right now. I got back from MomoCon and apparently caught the crud. So I'll do my best to keep it up. I've got my warm milk with honey, but let's get right into it. So what have y'all been up to? Jen?
Yeah, so I pre-ordered State of Decay several months ago, and so I did play that. It was kind of garbage, and that makes me really sad.
Aw.
We had fun playing with friends, but it was kind of a bummer to have something that I pre-ordered be not fun. But what made it not fun was all the glitches and the fact that it was a Microsoft product, so it literally took about an hour and a half on stream trying to get three of us into one game. And that sucks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the gameplay was okay. I just, with the glitching, it just makes me sad. But it was okay. Conan, still playing that. Really, really loving it. Conan Exiles. If you ever liked Ark, it's so good. A lot of the things that were a problem in Ark just are so much better now. I did pick up Dark Souls Remastered, playing that. And it is a dark, unforgiving game. Wow. But I'm gonna play it. I've been playing through it. I've been doing the Overwatch event. If you don't know, right now you can get Overwatch characters, skins, and all the stuff. Like everything is available to buy with your credits, and the anniversary boxes that you get have everything in it too. So yeah, super good stuff there. And yeah, I don't know. It's a chance for me to get my stupid Zarya 80 skin that I've been missing for all this time. So I'm really hoping that I can get enough credits before it ends. So I'm gonna keep obsessively playing, and I'm still playing WoW, trying to catch up on all the things before the new expansion. So yeah, lots of video games this week.
Cool. What about you, Ember?
Well, I went to see Solo. I liked it. I was arguing a good part of today with somebody who didn't like it so much, but that's okay. I had a fire last night. The weather finally cleared up. I was supposed to be playing games with part-time gamer guys, but it's been raining. We usually have a big fire at the beginning of May, and we didn't have it until now because it's been raining every single damn day, and we have this giant wood pile, and I need to clear it. So I invited people over. Most people were out of town traveling because of the holiday, but we had a handful of folks show up, and I stayed up till dawn and got very drunk. And we burned 2 Christmas trees. My friend Beth brought a tree from last year, and we burned ours. It's kind of a witchy thing. We usually do it for May Day, burn the Christmas trees, but it's spectacular. If you've never put a Christmas tree in a fire, do that. So Pokemon Go. A couple weeks ago, I meant to mention the event I did, the Charizard event, and I forgot to, and it was really awesome. It was one of those community events, so there were like 50 people in the park playing together, and you could catch many, many Charizards, and then if you evolved it during that time, you got special move, and of course, shinies were also more common. And I didn't know what the shiny Charizard looked like, and I evolved it, and I was like, because it's like dark gray and flames. I was like, oh my god, I'm naming it Smog. And then yesterday I went out raiding with a bunch of people, and I caught a shiny Ho-Oh in a raid, which was
I'm sorry, a shiny
really
what?
Ho-Oh.
The big
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, a big legendary bird.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I got the shiny. Some people are a little bitter because they've raided that 40 times and they're still trying to get the damn shiny, but I got a shiny. And um, the bad news yesterday was EX raid passes just went out, and there's like one place in my town that has those raids, and I've only ever gotten one pass for it ever. And I've been raiding there more recently whenever I can to try and get another pass. And I went like last week, somebody was like, hey, EX passes are coming, make sure you raid Mac Anderson. I went over there and I did the raid on my phone, or on my account, and on my husband's account. Rob got an EX pass and I didn't.
Aw.
Isn't it, and like he's not as into it as you are, right? Too, so that makes it even better that
No.
he's the one that
Like,
gets
and
it.
the only reason he had any raid at that park is because I did it. Like, in the same raid. Like, I raided it, logged out, logged into his account, raided it again, and it triggered the pass for him and not me.
Mm.
And it's at like 5 p.m. on Tuesday, June 5th. So it's okay. He'll probably have to work, and I'll do the raid too for him. But yeah, I'll catch Mewtwo for him, right? 'Cause
Hey,
that's how my
whatever you
luck
gotta do.
works. I won't have it still, but fine.
Well, cool. I mean, not cool for the last thing, but cool
Yeah.
you were up to that.
It's
So,
okay.
I went to MomoCon. That's what my big thing was. Again, I'm not sure if what I have right now is con crud or if it's just allergies, but I hate it. You've got the whole
Aw.
like cotton head, can't really hear. But I went over today to visit my parents, and my mom took me for like a full body massage at like Massage NB. So I was happy that I got that. But boost your immune systems, kids, because if you attend a con and you don't, you're liable to get sick.
Yeah, there's just a lot of human touching.
I was hoping that because I was sitting, at the booth most of the time, I could probably avoid it, but well, I know my plan for Dragon Con is to get the flu shot like 2 weeks beforehand, so hopefully my immune system will be boosted. But other than that, I actually got a lot of really cool ideas for cosplay while I was sitting at my booth watching people go by and talking to them. There's a whole bunch of crocheters there, actually. They had like an intro to crochet panel, which I couldn't go to because it was the middle of the day, but I did get to go to the Stitch and Bitch later that night, which was a lot of fun. I made an F bomb. It's a little bomb with an F on it.
Oh my
So,
god, that's delightful.
so I did that. It was really, really cute. And I got to help somebody else that wasn't too good at it. Like, a lot of people showed up that actually didn't know how to crochet at all. And it was supposed to be for just, working on this project or a project that you brought. But, I teach intro to crochet all the time. So it's just like, here, sit with me. I will show you how to do things. And that was really fun. But yeah, as for like cosplays, I think I might do 6 this year from Little Nightmares at Dragon Con, which is really easy. I just have to like get a nice lined raincoat that won't make me sweat terribly, and I'm gonna crochet a little gnome that I can hug, because that'll be fun. If you don't know why that's creepy, you should watch someone play the game or play Little Nightmares yourself. It's a boatload of fun.
Cool.
And then the
Awesome.
other thing, because a lady came by that had she had crocheted her cosplay, and she had crocheted her cosplay for her daughter. And I looked at her and I was like, I wanted to do Sailor Saturn, but I really don't like sewing with double knit. Why don't I just crochet it? So I might be crocheting an entire Sailor Scout outfit. Yes.
Oh my God.
I want to be Sailor Jupiter, like just in life. Like my life, I just want to be Sailor Jupiter all the time.
So that might be me breaking into insanity, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Remember
And
my
then
friend Barney? He is like a huge sailor nerd.
Oh, yeah.
it so much. I think
I
Neptune.
totally forgot about that. Well, Pluto was
Yeah.
one
And
of
then
my favorites too, but and Pluto not being a planet, I hear she's not in the club anymore or something.
let's see. My booth was on 11 Alive News for like 5 seconds. I actually have a link to it down in the Geek Grapevine. We don't have to look at it because I'm telling you right now, but it's at like 1:04. They actually zoom in on my stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, yay! And then I raffled the Infinity Gauntlet, and I raised $156 for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It was really cool. Like, some people
That's
didn't even want to
awesome.
enter the raffle. They were just like, here, take my money. I was like, okay.
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw.
So tomorrow, when the bank's open and everything, I'm gonna get that taken care of and get that given to them.
And it was a young girl, right?
Yeah, it was a young girl album.
Aw.
I'll try and remember to link a picture because I have it up on my Madcap page, which is the name of my company, quote unquote, my business. And so I'll try and remember to link that. And then I got some con swag. So one is this beautiful picture of Miyazaki like works. It's like a
Oh,
bunch of
wow.
characters
That's
from
so
Miyazaki movies.
cool.
And then another one that I actually traded for
Oh my
is
god, that's beautiful.
the black and white Sailor Moon. It's
Oh.
really like graphic and I love it. And I actually managed to trade for my friend too. So she also got a print of this. My booth buddy, she's the best. Like, she was drawing the whiteboard for me to get people's attention, and she was helping. She's just like the best booth buddy ever. And then there was some people just walking around. They had on like a clothes with a bunch of rubber duckies, like patterned, and they were handing out these tiny rubber duckies, which turned out to be weapons of destruction because for about 10 minutes all you heard was, and I was just like, oh dear. And somebody finally from the convention was like going through with a megaphone, like, if you have rubber duckies, please refrain from squeaking them.
Oh my god. Trigger
I want a ring
Ducky,
of
you're
bra.
the one.
It's
You
just-
make Momocon awkwardly fun.
It was like the call and response of the rubber duckies for about 30 minutes.
God.
But that was basically my time, and I did real well. Like, I did as well as I did last year, and I definitely am going back. MomoCon's probably going to be kind of my home con that I go to every year doing this, so it's a lot of fun. But immunity, kids, boost your immune systems.
Unless you have a problem one.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
which case, best of luck.
Don't want to boost mine. It attacks me.
Right? When immune systems attack is not what you want, unfortunately, in Ember's case.
Oh, boy.
Think about all those years I did stuff like took echinacea. Probably made myself way sicker than I needed to be.
Oh, I know, right? And well, especially because stuff like that, I don't even know how that works when you have an overactive immune system and then you're taking supplements. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
don't know.
that. I just feel like I'm a total jerk face, and I just talked about things that I did, and I didn't talk about the best thing I did all week. So I don't know if you guys mind if I actually add the best thing I did this week.
No, go for it.
So yesterday, I actually finished streaming episodes 3, 4, and 5 of the Walking Dead Telltale series, which I'd never played. And so I finished the first season and totally cried on stream. That's a super uplifting story. Oh my god. Not at all. But it was really amazing. If you've never played any of the Telltale games, I highly recommend it. They are so good, and the stories are told so well. So I'm definitely going to be streaming more of that. But I had a lot of fun doing it on a stream with people and having people hang out, and as I'm dealing with the repercussions of my decisions, and also, yeah, super duper. Oh god, it was fun. It was really, 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 really fun. So I can't believe I didn't mention it. But something you said about the convention for some reason, it was the print. I was thinking about the art from that being very similar to some of the black and white art from The Walking Dead. So yeah,
Cool.
awesome.
All right, so I think we can move on now to the Geek Grapevine. All right. Whose is the first one?
Yeah, I
Kinda-
wanted to call out these swatters because swatters are evil bastards.
Swatters are jerks. Swatters are jerks.
Yeah, and in this case, this guy is charged with manslaughter um, for making the call. And yeah, because SWAT went in and charged in and shot the guy to death. So
Oh my
they
god.
unsealed all these court documents, and you can see stuff. I mean, they're like 18 and 19, and one got mad at the other, and so they asked this other guy to swat him, and yeah. So it's nasty. And there's you can see in the reports like there was a DM between them saying, "All right, delete everything. This is a murder case now." Like,
Yeah.
really? Yeah,
Not cool.
asshole. Like, first off, that's not gonna work. But yeah, he wrote stuff and deleted it, and guess what? That doesn't work that way, smarty pants.
Nope.
But there's
That's
3 men have been indicted in this.
That's crazy. You know, it's funny because we keep not funny, but it's interesting because we keep collecting these stories about legality and then how the legal system not being caught up to technology, like, and the fact that some of these cases they have actually people have been charged for things that started or originated on the internet, like that one guy with the seizures. Like the guy who was sending him tweets specifically that would cause him to have a seizure,
Yeah.
knowing his
How the fuck
condition,
does-
and then
Ooh.
like the chick who did actually get charged with manslaughter or murder for convincing her boyfriend to like follow through with a suicide attempt from those text messages. Remember that? It kind of reminds me of that, where I'm glad that in those cases I guess it's more relevant. That second one is more relevant to this, but good that this became a murder case because that's garbage.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
boy.
that's too bad.
I mean, there's a problem with the cops here too.
Sure,
There's no
sure.
way they should have
Oh,
shot
sure.
before better assessing that kind of situation.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely don't. I mean absolutely. One,
And
you're
they
not wrong.
didn't like people were worried about surveillance, but you know the guy who made the call, he's called in bomb threats in the past and stuff. Like there should have been a red flag somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, look at my situation. I had Homeland Security turn my house upside down last year, and I had no idea why. And so believe me, I'm the first person that's kind of like, yeah, those situations are kind of crappy, how they get handled sometimes.
Yeah, no shit.
Ugh,
Ugh.
too
Yeah.
bad.
Well, I hope they throw the book at him.
I didn't really have a lot of news this week that wasn't just like kind of, everything was just like meh. This is a weird week for news. So I didn't actually have any articles for this week in particular. So.
I put a spill in for you.
Oh, that's right.
see this, Bill.
I almost forgot. I almost forgot. Okay. All right. So I do have a road spill. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Ember had an actual like local road spill. One that was in North Carolina. Let's see. 33,400 gallons of paint spill as truck flips an I-85 ramp in North Carolina. Holy garbage. Yeah, that's a lot. It's just like coating the road.
Yeah.
Ramp on
I
interstate.
drive there regularly. That's really close to here.
Oh wow. Yeah, so
30,000.
she's like, by the way, this is right by my house. A ramp on Interstate 85 was reopened after a tractor trailer overturned, spilling about 40,000 pounds of paint on the highway early Saturday morning. Awful. Ramp was closed until 12 p.m. Holy crap. That's
And
hours.
Memorial Day weekend. And
Oh,
race
boy.
Holy
week.
cow.
So
Oh.
Charlotte was a nightmare, and I didn't go anywhere near it.
I love this. A gallon of paint weighs 11.5 pounds, so the total paint involved will be about 3,478 gallons, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. I would like to note that that is confusing, because if you know
Well,
how...
It's interesting you noticed that because I changed which link I put in for this spill so you could see that image.
Yeah.
It was the only one that had a picture of it.
Is this the one you were
But
talking
there
about,
are
the
several
news
articles
being...
about this spill online, and they're very confusing in general because some of them say it was 40,000 gallons of paint, and some say it was
Yeah.
pounds, and some like how many gallons and pounds is all mixed up, and the articles all say something fucking different.
What they do, all
But
use the
that
same
is probably why
notepad.
they felt the need to mention census data,
Oh my
because
God.
everyone else was saying it was 40,000 gallons, and theirs was so fewer gallons that I guess they had to explain themselves.
I
Because
just
that's a small
love
outlet.
that.
Like the major outlets got it wrong.
Yeah.
They said 40,000 gallons of paint, and it was like, there's not 40. I don't think a tanker holds 40,000 gallons.
Yeah, I mean, a tanker that's all it does holds like what, like maybe 10, 20 at the most.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I
so.
just think that's so funny because I was like, this is a really bizarre way of wording that, but that makes so much more sense
And why
now.
is that in census data? I
I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, I mean, it's the same reason why we still know that a buttload is an actual number, because a buttload
It's
is
true.
in, yeah, 'cause a butt is a casket of wine, I think. It's measured in butts.
It always comes back down to alcohol every time. Like measurements, everything, it just all starts with alcohol.
Well, that was one of the things when they were like making the laws and like the Magna Carta, was they told you exactly how much a pint was, so that when you go to the bar, you can't get
Short.
skipped that last
Yeah.
little bit. They have to give you a full pint, which I thought was hilarious when I read about that.
That's
Oh, there we
great.
go. A semi-gasoline tanker holds 9,000 gallons, give or take. The capacity is usually controlled by the 80,000-pound gross weight limit for trucks in the U.S. So being paint, it
See,
would be heavier than gas.
Mm-hmm.
and that makes sense. But
So
wow,
it was
yeah.
probably 40,000 pounds.
It's
So.
super confusing.
Oh man, this is the dirt on the exit ramp has to be removed because of environmental reasons.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
boy.
just
Mhm.
don't forget, guys. Showbot.
Oh yeah, Showbot.
Before we get into our main topic, right?
Yeah, because the last link that we've got up is just the news link to 11 Live News, where you can go to like the minute mark and then see my crocheted
POSD.
stuff. And not even me, it's just my stuff. They just walked by, zoomed in on my stuff, and then walked off.
That's fantastic, though.
It is. Matt was like, it's all because it's really colorful. It's like super poppy. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm sort of famous. You know what you're looking for.
Hey, if you happen to know that that is Madcap right there, those are Madcap crochets right there.
hmm
Awesome.
So, getting into our main topic, which is conventions.
How
So I
appropriate.
chattered. Yeah, how appropriate. I chattered for a little bit about what I did at MomoCon. What are the most recent cons that you guys have been to?
I think the most recent for me, if you want to talk about technically conventions, would be BlizzCon.
Mm.
Mine would have been the last Comic-Con we had here in town. Our cute little Comic-Con at the Civic Center.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I really do want to count the meetup. Because it was more convention-like.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but the only reason I didn't consider it a convention was just because we didn't have like panels and it wasn't like a. The only thing you bought tickets for was like the event, but I thought about that too. Vegas definitely kind of felt convention-y, but I don't know if that would feel that way if we didn't have Nerdtacular. That
It's
was
not
more
a
like a meetup.
convention yet.
No,
Let's put it
see,
that
it
way.
used to be a convention, and that's not
used to
happening
be, yeah.
again, so it won't be a convention again.
Aw.
Actually,
Aw.
the point of it, though, I actually really like that, though, because one of the things that I love and hate about conventions is at conventions, you get to meet and see so many people that you know and love, but you get to spend exactly zero time with them. So the benefit of doing a meetup like what we had in Vegas was we actually got to see each other and hang out with each other and spend time together, which is really, really, really nice.
Well, partially because it was so small, I think. Because, like, there's so many different kinds of cons. Like, this con in town is, like, little, and it's a day, and people go, and then they go home, right? Compared to, like, big cons, and everybody, like, at the meetup, we all got a group rates, and we stayed at the same hotel, and then we were going to the same event, and we planned stuff around it. When I was on the Democratic National Committee, that convention, like, well, that's huge, right? and you're in a hotel with all the people from your state that were sent and another state. And it's not like panels like when I go to Heroes Con so much, but there are opportunities like that. And it's kind of just like spreadsheets and spreadsheets worth of events, and you pick and choose what events you want to go to. So, I mean, that Nerdtacular was like that, right? Like, there was
Sure.
just something going on all the time, and you could go or not.
Yeah, and there were
Mhm.
like set panels, and like you knew where people were going to be and when they were going to be there. And I think that for me is the difference between a meetup and a convention too, is that there are just set events that are happening. Um, I
Because all we had was the bar and then
right.
the recording and the concert.
Yeah, so what they did is, so what we went to in Vegas, they did a live recording of the morning stream with a few of the people that regular. So one of the things the morning stream does is they have a guest on each day, and so they had a few of those people up there as a panel, and they did a live recording of the morning stream, and they did it in the PM in Vegas, which is weird. And then they did. Then we had Bob Law the Third and Same Sex Mary performed, and so we did pay for that, and that's why it did kind of feel kind of convention-y, because we did have like door passes that we paid for and whatnot. And we did get swag too, so I guess it was pretty convention-y. I guess you're kind of right.
Kind of
Huh? Huh?
swag. What
Yeah, we did. We did get swag. I don't have any of mine handy right now, but we definitely got some cool stuff. That's probably one of my favorite things about conventions, that a lot of them do like the swag bags or the thing that you get with your ticket. Um, I think that just really adds something to it. So for MomoCon, do you get like a little, like, do you get like a swag bag? I don't know. I've never been to
Well, she
one
got
like
those
that.
prints she showed us.
Well, right, you
Well,
got those
that
prints, but those are ones that she bought, right?
one of them was the one that I bought, and then one of them, um, there was trading between the dealers at the end of the con because they don't want to take everything home. So like after we shut down for um, the end of Sunday, we were going around to each other's booths and being like, I really like this. I've been looking at this all weekend. Do you want to trade for it? That kind of thing. I also got this little necklace from the lady next to me. I traded her a mushroom bag. So I was, and I wanted
Aw.
to make sure. I was trying to pick something that was approximately the same amount as I would have charged for the bag, because I didn't want it to be like, I'm going to give you this tiny thing and get this big thing.
Yeah.
And it was the same for the print, actually. I traded the little Yoda doll, the woman whose kid wanted. It was her and her husband, who is the artist, and her kid. So they were walking around, and her kid really wanted the Yoda. So I was like, yeah, I'll trade for a print. And then she was like, well, we do too for 15. Don't you want another print? And I was like, okay, sure. I feel like mine is small, but if you think that's fair, I'll get one for me and one for my best table buddy. So it worked out.
But did the organizers give you a swag bag? Did they
Not-
do anything like that?
No, not for the vendors. I don't know if they do for
They
the regular
probably do.
patrons.
I figured the badge will do. I mean, even when I used to go to Otakon or Anime USA in Virginia, we would get a little bit of swag. I mean, it's just like I was gonna. So I go to BlizzCon every year, and you pay a stupid amount of money when you go to BlizzCon.
Mhm.
But one of the things you always know you're gonna get is some really, really solid stuff in your super fancy swag bag. So not this last BlizzCon, but the one before, I got this really awesome BlizzCon 10-year anniversary Stein. And it's really awesome. Like, stuff like that's really cool. They always give you like a backpack or a bag, which is nice too, because then you have like the ability to like haul it around. And the one last year was really great for like moving stuff or like hauling things around the event. Actually, it's really funny. It's a really nice backpack that I actually use every day now. Like when I go to Magic or when I go to D&D, it's my nerd bag. It's like my everyday bag now.
'Cause the local little Comic-Con here, there's another one coming up in I think July, and they've been putting out a call for vendors and advertisers,
Mhm.
and you can pay and donate like stuff to put in their swag bag, but it looks like the swag bags are for the vendors. Because you don't get a swag bag with the $5 admission for this con.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, for the Artist Alley at least, we get 2 badges with our table.
Oh, nice.
So the you pay for the table, but it's also paying for the 2 badges that for the exhibitors. So that may be, I don't know if you consider that swag because it's, you know, your vendor badge, but you do get 2 of them. So
No, it's
there's
nice.
that.
I
It's
thought
nice
about
to
doing
do
it for
that.
Geek Grills. Like, do we ever want to do that? Do we want to go to cons and have a booth? Because I did see a podcaster at the last Comic-Con I went to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are. See, if you did something like that, you do it like a Dragon Con. I mean, Night Attack does it at Dragon Con every year. They don't really man a booth though, but they definitely have.
Yeah.
They do a live recording there. And they have a room for like a while.
Yeah, that's what my husband did for his podcast.
Mhm.
They did a live recording. Unfortunately, they got shunted into like a 1 a.m.
Yeah.
slot.
That's how it
But-
goes.
But we actually had some people that weren't me or Kelly show up, and we had a pretty good recording. I think that would be a better option
Oh, yeah,
for Geek
totally.
Grills rather than a table or a booth. Doing a live recording there and being panelists.
Yep. Well, it's just like when Angry Chicken and The Instance and a couple of the other shows, Here's a Storm show, Into the Nexus, they do recordings at BlizzCon, but they use the Guild Hall because it's in the other hotel. That's like a perfect kind of a thing. Same thing again with like South by Southwest or Night Attack in Austin, or when they do the Dragon Con does Night Attack too. But so what have been some of your okay? So there's obviously all kinds of conventions like Democratic National Party convention. There's conventions for I used to go. One of my favorites I used to go to in Virginia was the Herp convention. Actually, I don't think it was in Virginia. I think it was actually in D.C. But, well, it was in Northern Virginia because nothing's actually in D.C. except for D.C. Except for old buildings and stuff about our government. But I used to go to the Herp convention every year because I actually really like snakes and lizards and whatnot. I don't own them because they're very difficult to own. And every time I have, it has been a pile of sadness and more sadness. But I do love them. So I used to go to the Herp convention every year, not for herpes, for herbivores. I just realized it makes it sound a little gross, so let's clarify
About
that.
herpetology.
No herpetitis. I have a... but that was a really fun convention I used to go to. But obviously, I think BlizzCon, which is just a bizarre experience that everyone who is a Blizzard fan should enjoy. But that would probably be my favorite. What are some of your favorite conventions that you've gone to?
Well, I mean, the one that I go to every year is Dragon Con. I haven't really, besides MomoCon, and there's a small convention in Columbus that was started by Columbus State that I used to go to when I went down there for college. It was Nerdicon. I don't know if Nerdicon is still going on, which is hilarious to me because MomoCon was started almost the exact same time, but it was the Georgia Tech anime convention. And just watching the difference between the two of them growing is very interesting because Nerdicon is still really small and MomoCon is just exploded. I do have some good con stories from Dragon Con, though.
I think we should hear those for sure.
Well, because there are actual, like, not saying that there aren't famous people that come to, like, MomoCon, but there are more famous people that come to Dragon Con because it's much bigger, it's much more well known. One of them was, I always get his first name wrong, but the actor Freddy Krueger was at Dragon Con one year, and my friend and I were walking up the street, and there was a father taking a picture of his daughter with a Freddy Krueger cosplay, and the actor photobombed the picture and like was in the Freddy Krueger voice was like, "You're not doing it right," and then ran away. And the father like hauled ass after him trying to get another picture of him. So that was the one, and I've also met Carl Urban. Yay. I've met Carl Urban at Dragon Con. I've met the Mythbusters.
Oh, that actually would be kind of fun.
Oh,
I'd love
cool.
to meet those guys.
hmm Adam and Jamie are really cool. Tori and Carrie are really cool. I met Grant vicariously through my husband because he saw him in the dealer's room and took a picture for me. But the other four I've actually met in person, so that was really cool. Let's see. One of my friends got run into by Felicia Day, um, which was really
Oh,
funny.
oh, I want to meet her so bad, and this is the second time I've heard a story about somebody in this week that somebody's told me a story about Felicia Day, and I'm just like, ah, I would just kill. I love her. If you haven't read
Well,
her
the
book, read it. It's really good. She's great.
the LARP tables where we all would hang out years ago used to be right next to Walk of Fame.
Mm.
So we're all hanging out in costume waiting for the game to start. And my friend is standing in front of one of the back doors because there was the back doors that the people weren't allowed into, and then the front where, the con goers could go in and walk around. And he just, the door slams into him and he stumbled forward, and she and a couple of people went by. I think they were handlers, and they were like, sorry. And he was like, he like got back to his feet. He was like, well, that was rude. And I was like, Chris, that was Felicia Day. And he was like, she can run into me anytime she
She could
wants.
run into me. She could step on my toes. She could probably spit in my food. I might still eat it. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. It would be tough. I'd have to think about exactly what Felicia Day could do that I would be like, ew. I don't know. I don't know. I really like her a lot.
Oh, it's just so funny.
Oh man,
Um,
I didn't even think
Cons like
about
this are
that
so
too.
small. There you don't have famous people.
That's
Any
how
of the
I feel
nerd
about the
ones.
Phoenix one. The Phoenix one is like the Tucson and Phoenix ones are like kind of meh. Tucson's
Yeah.
even smaller, but
Like there's one in Raleigh I really want to go to, but I don't know if I can fit it in my budget. Because it's going to be amazing this year. They have really cool people. Like John Barrowman and like there's like Chekhov and Shatner and like another Star Trek guy, and Barry Bostwick is going to be there, and Alice
makes
Cooper
me
is going to
really
be there.
sad because I just
And oh
realized.
my God, like I feel like Lou Ferrigno. I really want to try to get to that one this year. But I've really enjoyed panels
Yeah, me too.
at the one in Raleigh at Heroes Con. DJ Spider, who has helped me with a lot of other stuff, is also an amazing cosplayer. And I, she's run a cosplay panel there that I learned so much from. And they gave me a nice handout with all like links to their sources and info, like where to get materials. And like that was like the best part of that con for me, because the rest of it was just walking around looking at stuff and trying not to buy it all.
I do buy it all, and that's one of my favorite things about cons actually is like the crap that I get to buy, but I have to be careful. But for me, it's funny that you mentioned panels because like I was thinking that's probably one of my favorite parts of cons is aside from seeing people and all the fun cosplay or whatever is happening at that con. Like KubaCon is all about LARP for me, LARP and the games and stuff, and there's a games room and all that fun stuff that's happening. But they don't have solid panels there. That's not really a panel con, but like I really enjoyed going to Phoenix Comic Con and actually going to some of the panels. Like there was one where there was like artists talking about feminizing the feminizing but not over sexualizing like in art in comics, and I was like that was incredibly fascinating because I, not being an artist, had no idea the things that were happening that would affect how I would perceive that character, or how just a simple line change can make the difference between something looking like a giant like pornographic slut bag versus like looking like strong vixen. You know what I mean? Like there's just a difference. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sometimes kind of subtle, and that was a really cool one. Voice actors at my favorite at BlizzCon every year. The voice actors, and then Christine Golding, who does my favorite of the Blizzard novels. She always does the Blizzard writers panel, and I love it because I get to go there and just listen to her talk about world building and writing for such a huge story. And oh god, so good, so good.
Oh yeah, I forgot I met my favorite author at DragonCon. Mercedes
Yeah.
Lackey was there, and she signed my book, my
That's
favorite book.
awesome.
So I was so happy, so
It's
happy.
funny, the only con I've actually seen famous people at was the Democratic National Convention. Like Asif Manvi was there, and like all the Daily Show guys. Like to me, that is
Aw.
celebrity, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, look at me. For me, my first BlizzCon, my first night. They do the con before the storm, and some of the panels. Some of the people that we know do panels, like Scott Johnson and Garrett Weinzerl. I can't call him Weinzerl. I just gotta want to call him Weinzerl every time. It
Weinzerl,
just
yeah.
happens. So Garrett
Oh, and meeting
Weinzerl.
Russell Brower.
No, oh yeah, met Russell Brower multiple times. In fact, he remembered me the second time. So not only did I see him at Nerdtacular, but him being one of my favorite people, um, BlizzCon, that my second BlizzCon, that he remembered me from before, just like I squeed like a tiny child.
Oh,
But oh man, it's really fun to see some of those people. But the people that I'm like super excited about meeting are like my first BlizzCon. It was a con before the storm. I of course didn't get a ticket until 5 minutes before like the doors opened for the day before, because chaos and insanity and luck would have it that of all people, Mick Montgomery knew people that had a random extra ticket. So there you go. Small podcasting world, I guess, to the rescue. And I went in there and we're like hanging out the con before the storm and just like having fun watching these panels. And I look over and the panels wrap up and I'm like, I realize that's fucking Mike Morheim. Just like president, founder, Blizzard fame, just fucking standing there. Nobody's talking to him, nothing. And I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta go talk to him. But it was like really hard not to be like a total pathetic like a geek and be like, oh my God, I loved all your games. Your games redefined video games for me. I only play video games because the games that you guys made, Diablo and StarCraft, were like my favorite things ever. No, I mean it's like, how do you not
I
sound
love
like?
dogs. I love you. Was that the? And
Oh
then
my God, no, we're not gonna tell. Oh God, now I have to tell a story though, because otherwise it just sounds weird. Um. So I don't get like juicy goosey very often about like attractive people, but every once in a while there are some attractive people that just catch me off guard. And Brian Kibler of Hearthstone fame is started as a streamer, and he became one of the most well-known casters. And he was casting at BlizzCon, and so in front of the casting booth, it was kind of in between games, and he's standing there with Shiro, his dog. And I'm like, oh my God, she's so cute, and she's right there, and oh my God, I'm so excited. Because Shiro's like the happiest Pomeranian ever, like this white little fluff ball of happy. And so I walk up, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go over there. And Dills is like, no, 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 you gotta go say hi to him. Go say hi to him. Go get a picture. So I did go get a selfie with him. But the best part is that he's talking to people and like I didn't want to interrupt and I'm trying to figure out something to say to like say other than hi, I like you, please take this picture with me. So out of all of the things I could have said, the words that came out of my face hole were I love dogs, I love you, and I put my camera up, which it clearly meant that I was going to take a selfie with you, which he tucked in, and I got a selfie with him and Shiro. But it was like, yeah, Jen, out of all the things that could have tumbled out of your face hole, I like dogs, I love you is definitely the way to go for not sounding like a giant loser pants when you're meeting somebody. But he does. He's one of those. It's like, how did you get like? He's like a Chris Hemsworth. Like, you got too much of the good shit. Like, you were clearly taken from somebody else because he's smart, funny, attractive, loves animals. Like, you got too much good shit, dude. Share with like the rest of humanity. Like, you are weird, weirdly too amazing. But yeah, that was a fun time. Oh God.
Yeah, and talking about like panels and such is I did actually take a break from being at my table because I got invited to be on a women in LARP panel.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I totally plugged both the Geek Grills and the Glitter Dice. And that was really interesting because it was a panel run by some folks that I actually, game with. And
Probably people that I might have gamed with, oddly enough.
maybe, I don't know. I mean, they did do Solar and the like, and all
Circles.
that good
There's
stuff.
so many weird circles of
Some days there's so many
LARPers.
weird circles.
LARPers have weird circles.
Well, if
So
you know,
Linda,
if
I know
Yeah.
you,
you've been a panelist and a vendor,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't.
and the right place vendor this time, right? Like, didn't you?
yes, last year I got put into the actual dealer space because I didn't know any better, and no one like informed me that, oh, this is all handmade stuff. Maybe you should be over in Artist Alley.
Oh, wait a
Which,
minute. We put you in the wrong box.
well, it was like it's a difference of $600 versus 250.
Yeah.
So
Yikes.
I'm pretty sure that they were just like, well, she's paying for the space. Gonna give it to her. I'm like, whatever. But I managed to make almost the exact same amount of money as I did last year, and this year I get to keep more of it.
Yeah,
And now we have
Hooray!
that's a
podcast,
much
so
better
the more
setup
you
for
know
sure.
for our listeners.
Yes. The more you know. If you make things by hand, sign up for Artist Alley. Don't sign up for a dealer space. It's so expensive. The ones at Dragon Con are even worse. Also, it's really hard to get into their Artist Alley. Not that I
Oh,
would
I
want
bet.
to.
One of the things that I was just thinking of when you were talking about women in LARP, and I was thinking about some of the topics that come up when you're having those conversations. I'm kind of curious what you guys talked about.
We talked about, it was interesting because Dylan O'Brien, if that's a name you know, Jen, and his wife, he was on the panel because he's got like a psych major, and then she was on the panel because she was a lady, and I was on the panel because I was a lady, and then we had our friend Kat, who was on the panel, who was also a lady. But we talked a lot about old guard versus new guard because they were definitely old guard and had a lot different like experiences when it comes to the kind of trials and tribulations of being a woman in LARP specifically. And then you had Kat, who is a very, very, very new LARPer, who's only kind of ever really known a couple of the LARPs that I play now. And I was joking that I'm kind of mid-guard because I started LARPing in like 2000, I want to say like 8. So I'm not like a super newbie, but I'm not like an old,
Yeah, you're seasoned, but not like my roommate who's been LARPing for like 20 years, and I've been LARPing for
Yeah.
I've been LARPing for like 15-ish, I guess. I don't know, maybe somewhere in there. But yeah, it's pretty it's interesting. Some of the opinions and differences when I'm talking about LARP with people have a lot to do with how long they've been doing it. It is a difference how the opinions do vary a bit.
Yeah, so it was interesting because we talked about the different types of systems like lightest touch versus like amp guard, I think is what it's called, where you're just wailing on the other people.
Yeah, full contact buffer LARP. Yeah, that's what Dystopia Rising is.
Mm-hmm. And then we were talking about like salon LARPs and how it was weird for me because I was used to like a 40-60 split at the LARPs that I had gone to, and then I went to like a vampire game, and I was one of 3 girls in a group of 25 people. It's very, very different.
And it's funny how I would find that a lot too. It would vary quite a bit. But it's interesting how the difference of how few in some areas. Like when I gamed in California, I was like, oh my God, there are so many female LARPers. Like, what the hell? And the ratio was definitely more like 70-30, I would say, in the Mid-Atlantic. But in the Midwest, it was pretty bad. Like 80-20 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a handful of chicks. In fact, more often than not, when you go to the event games, you'd have what we called the LARP Widows, which was at Midwinter. We'd have this big event every year, and at Midwinter, the LARP Widows were the wives and girlfriends of the dudes that LARP. And I always just kept thinking, like, why don't you guys play with us? Like, why are you sitting here playing board games at this event rather than we're just, I don't know.
Yeah. Like we got into the old Nomer of like the backpack healer girlfriend about
Yeah.
how that used to be a thing.
We used to call them ghoul
Um,
friends in the vampire game.
yeah, so it was really interesting, and we actually got a couple of really good questions from a couple. Like one of them was a guy in the audience was like, "How do I, make sure that I don't, disclude people, just in general, but also, ladies?" And we were like, just, don't make your character um, perfect. Like, don't generalize. It's much better to actually specialize, especially in like I would say like buffer LARPing. It's especially better to specialize rather than generalize because then you can find other people, whether they be male or female, that you can interact with and be like, oh, I'm a big stick jock, but I need to figure out what's going on with this family over here diplomatically before I go stab them. Let me go find a diplomat friend. And then it's a good way to, make it so that you're going to interact and not be, the brooding person in the corner that doesn't want it's not fun to play the tall dark brooding guy in the corner because
Yeah, because it's a LARP, and you know what? If you want to do that, you're not going to have fun. Like you're not going to have anything that you're doing, and then you're going to feel like it's the LARP's fault. But really, it's whenever I have people are like, "Oh, I'm going to make this really antisocial character," and I, as a storyteller, used to be like, so this is a social game because it's a LARP. You don't have to
Yeah.
be good at doing social things, but being willing to engage in that is kind of a minimum requirement.
Isn't that why you came here?
Yeah, didn't you
yeah.
come to actually play a character? Or did you come to just sit in the corner and be bored? I don't want you to be that. It's interesting because some of the topics that you bring up in that conversation, I think apply to conventions generally too. Especially because, or just some of the topics that can come up in that conversation. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think one of the things that I worry about in conventions and when I see it happening, I have this natural big sister instinct to like deal with it immediately. But you have a lot of people that cosplay and cosplay like I think one of the best things that I've seen happen is the cosplay is not consent, you know,
Yeah.
movement because that's a thing that a lot of people forget about. Like with LARP, there's permission that's asked before touching or things like that. If it's not a contact LARP, if it's a parlor LARP or a salon LARP. I think that's one of those things in conventions that can get a little bit scary. I know I have friends that's one of the reasons that they don't cosplay sometimes is just because they're worried about that attention that they're going to get and the fact that they may not get the support or respect when they are not interested in getting, you know,
Yeah.
touched, grabbed, hugged, whatever.
And that's actually something that they're very careful about at MomoCon, because it's a family convention, and not to say that that's the only reason why it's happening, but they're very much into the cosplays not consent, ask before touching. Um, there's a whole bunch of like that
I
I've seen
I
of
tried to even ask before. I think the other thing that people forget about too is like asking even before you're gonna photograph somebody.
yeah,
Like,
before pictures.
yeah, and I had one where I had no idea that this girl was going through something, but I saw her at BlizzCon, and I was like, oh my god, what a gorgeous cosplay. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I get a picture? And she's like, not right now. And then I looked away, and I walked forward, and when I turned around, she was like crying and like talking to a
Oh.
friend. So obviously, like if I had just snapped that picture, who knows how that would have like spun her out because I had no idea of knowing that she was dealing with something at that moment.
Hmm.
And but of course I respected it. I was like, no problem. But it made even more sense when I saw a few minutes later when she was actually showing the emotions of whatever was going on with her.
Yeah. So that's a big thing about conventions and just consent,
Yeah.
consent.
There's,
Please
there's
ask
something I
for
was reading
consent.
like last year about like con adjacent. I forget what they call it. People who just go to the town and hang around and don't buy tickets and
The people
Oh,
basically
watchers.
yeah.
stuff. Huh?
They're called the people watchers. Yeah. You
And it's
can't.
really, really like bad for security, if nothing
Well,
else.
yeah, because how do you
Yeah.
protect against it? You can't. You just have no idea like
Well, you're not
what they're
allowed to
there
do that,
for.
and you're not allowed to like go in the convention. Well, not even the convention center, like the hotels anymore at Dragon Con without a badge, or like you're like saying, I don't know who would do this because it's there every year. You know we're coming. So if you want to get a hotel room at that time of year in downtown, I would not recommend one of those hotels, but unless you have like your confirmation of I have a hotel room here or a badge, you're not allowed inside the hotels anymore. So it's a thing they're cracking
That's
down
good.
on at
I mean,
Dragon
I
Con.
people
I think
put a
that's
lot of
great.
work
I,
to.
I wish they did more. They were able to do that a little bit better at BlizzCon because one of the problems is, and don't get me wrong, I think there's people that participate on the outside, but even a good portion of BlizzCon actually just happens out front of the convention center where all the like the lunch trucks are, which is nice because people that don't have badges just come and hang out or they go to the guild hall if they're local or whatever. And the guild hall is like a room that they rent at the hotel next door or at the hotel that people normally stay at for BlizzCon. But out there is just a ton of people that have nothing to do with the convention that are just out there kind of being vagrant assholes, unfortunately. Yeah, it's shitty.
Mm-hmm. Well, oh,
What do
I hate
you?
to
Never
I
be able
hate
to get a
I
damn
hate to
ticket.
leave it on that note, but we
No, let's leave it a more positive note. Okay. So if there's a convention you haven't gone to that you really want to go to, what would it be?
um I actually have two answers to that question because I've been thinking about maybe expanding going to more conventions as a vendor. There's a small one that I was just told about called AndoCon, that actually got started because it was someone's birthday, and for somehow it exploded into a tiny convention. So they're looking for vendors. There was only like 4 there last year, so I could probably do really well. And my friend who went told me about it, so I might try and look up that. And the other one is maybe one year I would love to go to PAX.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's totally on my list for sure. Any packs.
any PAX. The one that I'm thinking of is on the same weekend as Dragon Con,
Oh
so I'd have to miss Dragon Con. But maybe one year I could do one instead of the other. Um,
yeah.
I just think it'd be really cool to go and take the trip. It's super expensive, but probably worth it.
I want to do PAX Unplugged. That as far as the PAX goes, I think that'd be really fun. That was something that we had a guest on, my friend from college, Ken. When he was on, he was talking about PAX Unplugged, and that was really great because they talk about tabletop and video games and all kinds of fun stuff. My one that I really, really want to go to, though, for sure, is Dragon Con. I've never been to Dragon Con. I've heard about it for years and years and years. I know 1.5 million people that go. I would have nothing but a blast. I'd probably drink too much, but it would be amazing, and I would like to go.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Amber, what's your dream con that you want to go to?
BlizzCon.
Yeah, I figured yours would be BlizzCon.
Yeah. I mean, I'd really like to get to Dragon Con. I'd like to go to FrolicCon. Um,
Oh
but
yeah,
a more
Frolicon. Forgot about
reasonable
that.
goal, I think, is GeeklyCon.
Hmm.
I think that's going to be my next. I want to make this trip, other than keeping whatever Nerdtacular meetup is happening on my once a year list.
Sure.
I'd like to add GeeklyCon because it's affordable. It's in like Columbus, and it's another podcasting community. And I listen to a lot of their stuff. I like to be more involved in their community, and I like the personalities behind the cast I listen to from that community. So I think that's my next goal for making a con a part of my life.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. That's a much better thing to end on. So, if you all listening would like to chime in, you can email us at geekgrills@gmail.com, or you can give us a ring at 508-474-5577. You can also tweet us at Geek Grills. So chime in and let us know. So, Grills, what are you most anticipating right now? Jen?
Anticipating, I'm not sure if it's the proper word, but I am mentally, physically, and emotionally preparing for my run through Dark Souls Remastered because I've never played Dark Souls. I have Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 now, and so I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's really a hard game, and it's like a really unforgiving, dark game, so we'll see. On a more positive note, I'm really looking forward to streaming another set of The Walking Dead. I'm going to do the epilogue episode, or the special episode, 400 Days, I think it is, and then I'll be doing season 2, and I had a lot of fun streaming the last one, so I'm definitely looking forward to streaming this. So that is definitely on the list of things that I am for sure looking forward to doing. So yeah, that's me. Vidya games these days. All of them Vidya games.
Awesome. What about you, Ember?
I don't know. I
Eh?
didn't come up with anything. I didn't feel like
Ember's looking
no
forward to
plans.
not being sick after staying up a little too late last night.
Yeah. And it's summer now for one of my kids and not the other. So,
Ah,
yeah, all this like life rearranging chaos. So I'm not looking forward to that.
oh God, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all
How about
parents.
going to the gym? Because I want to get the hell away from my family. There we go. I'm looking forward to making myself go to the gym.
Aw,
All right.
so some me time. It sounds like.
Yes. Maybe I'll upgrade my membership so I can use a massage chair.
Aw,
I recommend massages. They're good for you. And then for me personally, I am looking forward to relaxing for a little bit, a couple days before jumping into June. The Garden of Destiny's LARP that I play is doing something a little bit different. They're having 2 games in June rather than just one. One's a 3-day, one's a 1-day. So I'm interested to see story-wise what they're going to get into. But we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm very happy that the 1-day is at an air-conditioned site. Very happy about that.
nice. Yeah, that sounds super duper nice. I I I was gonna do an update, but I realized something else was first. Ember, that's you.
Yep.
Yeah, remember, folks, you can always tune in live and watch us record at twitch.tv/Geek Grills on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
You can come hang out and help us title the show. You can chat with us. You can say stuff that makes us laugh while we're on camera. There are all kinds of fun things you can do if you come hang out with us live. So please, please,
You
please,
can
please.
troll, you won't last long.
Yeah, you won't last long, but hey, give it a shot. Go for it. At this point, you're a body in a room, and why not? Make it fun. We've really getting our Twitch game together. And part of the reason we're able to do that is just because of our amazing patrons. I just want to thank our patrons. You guys are my favorite people on the internet, personally. You can become a patron if you're not already. You can go to patreon.com/grills. That's one of the ways that you can support our podcast. That helps us get the software that we need to make cool things. It helps us just with all the production value in general on the show. You can also support us through the Twitch channel directly when you're here live. You can sub and bits and all that stuff. All that stuff is awesome. We love our we love our Twitch subscribers and our patrons. But with that being said, we have a patron who is one of my if I had to have a list of like the top 25 people that I know on the internet, he would be among them. It is the famous or infamous Max Trollbot is now a patron of the Geek Grills. So thank you very, very much to Mr. Trollbot for all of your appreciation and your monies. They are all helpful, and we love you a whole bunch. I love Trollbot. Trollbot's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited
Awesome.
to shout him out for sure.
And you can also leave us reviews on your podcast catcher. Leaving a review is free. It can be a little annoying to get to, but they help our ranking on, the iTunes or wherever it is you're finding us, and that helps other people find our podcast. You can also join our Facebook page, and you can follow us on Twitter and help us spread the word there. So, ladies, where can we find you on the interwebs?
I can be reached at 9 of 12 on Twitter and Twitch.
I can be found at The Jen Says on Twitter and streaming at twitch.tv/TheJenPlays. And if you want to find everything that involves anything that I'm a part of, you can find that at thejensays.com because I own it.
And You can also listen to me talk about women in gaming on the Glitter Dice podcast, which comes out on the 1st of every month. And you can find me on Twitch under the name True Noob. That's TRUN00B. It's where I do my plushy streams. I might be doing one tomorrow if I feel better. I might be sleeping. So we'll just see how it goes. But thanks for listening, everyone. Good game.
GG.
GG.
Well played. GG.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Jen, you should be pushing button.
What button? I did push the button. You just couldn't hear
Oh, the
it.
Diamond Club bumper. I didn't
Yeah,
hear it.
you didn't hear it. It came through though.
Yay.
I forgot to give you your sound again.
Oops.
Yeah, I had it. I did that.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
I could also do other things like inform you.
I don't it's no big deal.
You're listening to the Jen.
What was that?
Big Voice Jay, who's also making some bumpers for us, which we are gonna have. We're gonna write out some things that we want from him, and he's gonna redo a couple of things, and we'll hopefully be able to use some of his bumpers soon, because he is awesome. But yeah, he made me a couple bumpers.
And making pretzels.
By you making baby pretzels by letting a boy pretzel and a girl pretzel have pretzel sex? Is that what I'm actually watching right now?
Apparently, then you get one of these. I don't know. I've got 3 different shapes.
Can we
this
get the
bowl.
Punnett square out to figure out exactly which is the recessive traits and the dominant traits? But yeah, here, you want to hear the
think of that. That's what I think of that.
Trigger
There you go.
Ducky,
Give
you're
sound
the
effects.
one. You make MomoCon probably not so much fun because it's really
Oh,
annoying
man.
and squeaky.
It was
I'm gonna forever
was
call it
just-
Trigger Ducky now. By the way,
it
that
was
is now
just call
officially
and
a thing.
response. Like there was a couple of dudes just running up and down the aisles, like.
Oh my god.
Oh, we have
Uh,
3 suggestions.
Grown ass man, by the way.
I didn't have any good ones today. I tried. I just couldn't think of anything. Where's the linky link?
We have it always goes back to alcohol.
Oh yeah, I
Lizard
liked that one.
herpes,
Mm-mm.
Because that's my
and
convention.
Lady Larper of Midgard.
My experience at cons pretty much always goes back to alcohol. So for some reason, I do feel like that's kind of appropriate, even though the conversation had nothing to do with alcohol directly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're still here, if you're here on our channel right now, click the vote buttons, click that link, go vote on an episode title. Herpetitis. That's the word. I was like, I made up a word today. What was it? And that's right. It was herpetitis. I love herpetitis. Oh god, it's fucking terrible. Oh yeah, but here, you want to hear the magic that
Yeah.
Big Voice Jay made for? I'll just play one of them. It makes me so happy.
You ready to have a party out there?
It ain't a party till the Jen's in the building.
I've got the power!
Straight out the Diamond Club.
Yeah, baby.
Get ready for the Jen.
So don't worry. Pretty soon we will have some pretty solid Big Voice J work for the Geek Grills, because I really think that we need a Geek Grills intro of similar form and fashion, or at least maybe for one of the segments that we can play every time, because that would be fucking awesome.
Speaking of the stuff that we have for Geek Grills, the True Noob thing, my brain, I'm sorry.
Yes.
The thing you made for clicking on my channel, off of your channel. The picture. Can I use it on my channel? Do they need compensation?
Ember, we can't hear you all of a sudden.
I can't hear you, Ember.
She's
I
like,
muted because I was crunching.
oh.
No, I paid the artist and
That's all you, baby.
you own it.
Okay.
That's all
'Cause I
you,
will prob-
Use
babykins.
it wherever you like.
You should use
I'm
it as your
probably gonna-
However you
avatar.
like.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my avatar from me lounging on the Goblin King's throne to that.
I think it's really great. I think it's really cool. Awesome. So thank you everybody
And
for
I will
hanging out
fix the
live, by the way.
schedule Panel.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
With Jen streaming, I didn't want to log in as Geek Grills and break something.
I don't think it affects that. I think my stream literally goes from OBS, but for the future reference. But that's totally fine. I really appreciate that. So this is just a work in progress too, ladies, and also viewers. We're just trying to get the panel looking really nice when we're doing our shows. And I'm working through it as I can. So we're getting there. If you have any suggestions or ideas, please do let us know. One of the things that I do want to know though before we kick this over, and by the way, I think we should host Curly because he spent about an hour
Really
with
good
me
host.
today making fucking shit work on OBS, and also drew me a fucking diagram so that I could actually like. He drew me a diagram because I was like, I need to know how to audio, like the way you audio. My audio is not a good thing right now. Like, I need you to like help me out with that. How are you doing it? It would be really cool if you could help. And he was, oh no, I even didn't ask a diagram. I was like, hey, I don't know how to audio. Please help. Send help. Freaking out. That's more of how that went. To which I got what might be perhaps the most complex. So his response was, "Oh, give me a few minutes. I will draw a diagram." Um,
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
so I will. I'm gonna pump this to the to you guys because it's ridiculous. I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and grab this bad boy real quick while we're here. This is hilarious. Just like it is a thing that is to behold. It is insane. So he was like, "Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll draw you a diagram." So I expected like a drawing, and I got that. Which if you look at it, it actually like even like tells you things like this is how you listen to yourself like an adult. This is how you can talk to your cast alone. By the way, this is where your comms go. And I think one of my favorite parts is all comms will go to this set output. Skype, Discord, Stream, Xbox, Apple, Zoom, Uvu, Trillion, MSN Messenger, ICQ, Potato Chat, Banana Chan. This is only for voices. So anyway, Curly of Drunk Geek Gaming, super helpful for getting shit done. But that being said, what are we? Oh my God, isn't that chaos? It's insanity. What are we doing next week? I have guests that can come on. We have Finuckery, who's an author, and her book just self-published on Amazon last week. So that's one option. She streams her writing too, which is kind of interesting, and not a lot of writers on stream. We also have
That is really interesting.
other people too.
Yeah.
But I was kind of thinking that she might be a decent grab. Do you guys have any other ideas for next week?
I'd be okay if she's available.
Yeah,
Her-
I'll check availability today and have an answer back today.
Because it's it's not the same as me doing the plushie stream, but it's artists doing their thing while streaming, and I think that's really cool. So
Well, I've
Yeah,
seen
me
people
too.
having a discussion about writing on stream and how you would do such a thing.
Well, and JF
Uh,
DeBoe was
So
on
that's interesting.
Ink when he was on Mind of a Geek. That was one of the conversations that they had that I found so
That's where I
interesting.
heard it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know exactly the conversation you're talking about because I remember that both of us listened to that episode and were like, oh, how interesting.
And, oh my God,
Are
those
we-
guys! They canceled on me.
I know. I was super pissed when I saw that. I was so sad. Oh
Yeah,
God.
Linda didn't know yet. They canceled on me like a couple hours before
Ugh.
we were supposed to start.
Shit
that
balls.
sucks.
Yeah, they got a lot of drama in their life right now, apparently.
Uh,
But so that sucks for them. But
are
damn
we
it,
are we
I know their
rating?
schedule was
Yep.
already almost
Yep.
full.
We're gonna
I mean,
raid.
it's almost the end of their season already.
We're gonna raid. Let's
I
go
get it.
ahead and raid Drunk Kids Gaming because they're doing multiplayer Monday.
I did add.
Did you
stuff to our
guys?
topic ideas list, by the way?
Did you have a raid shout that you guys wanted to use?
Well, did we pick a show title?
It always goes back to alcohol. Was the
Alcohol?
show
Why
title?
don't we use that?
How about okay?
As for Drunk Kids Gaming, we're going to.
The Geek Grills.
One day I'm going to get Shanna to make a mead that is a Geek Grills mead, and we'll just have our own Geek Grills mead.
I want it. All right, so it always Geek Grills : it always goes back to alcohol. Let's see. I don't know if the raid command still works the way I think it does. We'll give it a shot. Let's go.
Mm.
Bye, everybody. I love you. Bye. Yay.
Bye, everybody.
We got it working. Hooray.
Right.
Yay!
Sorta.
Sort of. If I could get myself to work, that'd be great.
Oh, I'm
Mm.
on my channel. I'm an idiot.
Oopsie.
Oh, no. There you go. All right, you got that. That's good. That's a good start. And then can you /raid command it?
I don't
Oh, hold
know
on.
if I
Nope.
can
I got
with
it.
this account.
I can do it if you give it a second.
Okay.
Don't worry. You guys are seeing this. Nobody else.
Yep, so I noticed that. God damn it, Twitch.
That's because that's the only way that I can show you guys the video without. Oh, shit.
Crunch.
Crunchy, 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 crunchy. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. Brr, 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 brr.
Linda, those empty nets make me feel sad. We need to fill
Oh,
them
Thanks
up.
for
yeah.
hanging out, everybody, by the way, who's
Yeah,
here
I'll
live.
I'll fill up the net soon.
Oh.
In a little bit. I have to like unload my car still. I only have
Oh, God.
3 plushies left.
Whoa.
Only 3.
Only
Are you
3
having trouble with the
plushies.
raid or what?
Nope. I got you.
Alright.
I got you.
I was super happy.
Send in the
Maybe I
chat
see,
one more
right?
time. Geek Grills, it always goes back to alcohol.
Okay.
I just can't copy. I just copy pasted already once, so. Okay. It won't work if I do it that way.
I did add topic ideas. If we don't get that guest, do we want to do one of those?
Yeah, totally. I'll find out ASAP.
Okay. I'm gonna go dose myself with like NyQuil and then go to sleep.
Yeah,
Aww.
sounds like a good idea. Hope you feel better quick.
Yeah, because I have to go to work tomorrow.
Ugh. And I gotta talk some people soon into spending like an hour on Skype with me so I can finish my setup.
Geek Grills with the
So
booties.
that when